Okay, there is currently discussion on the Steam forums about how difficult it is to siege something because the defenders' siege engines are always killing your siege engines. Well, this is the method I use. Notice I started the video just before the siege camp was built, so we're setting up at Poros. We've just built the siege camp. Now, it's important to always remember that however you queue these is the sequence that they're going to be built. So if you queue these first, they're going to be built first. We don't want to do that. I always start with the trebuchet. Now again, I want to point out, I'm not suggesting this is the only way to do it or the best way to do it or the greatest way to do it. This is simply the way I do it using the game mechanics. Once we've got those 4 trebuchets built, I will build the back row. Don't have to worry about these. They're out of range. They cannot be hit. Then we let these build. Now, the trebuchets are very important. We're building them first because they have the most quote-unquote hit points. And as soon as they build, we want to press the spacebar and pause and move to reserve. And I also want to build a fire onager for the actual assault. Now, we just let these build one at a time. And as each one is built, we want to press the spacebar to pause the game. Now, I do want to point out that in history, no one built their siege equipment in range of the defenders. You build them in the back and then moved them forward, or you build them elsewhere and brought them with you. So this is in the game to simulate that. Since this is a game, they had to have some way of doing this, and that's why you can move units to reserve. We're just going to let it go. Build all 4 trebuchets. And as soon as they're built, move them to reserve. And I like to follow up with the fire onager because I have engineering up to level 150. The fire onager is very good at destroying defensive troops. Now, we'll go ahead and let the back row build. We do want those. They're going to be essential to our siege. Then we start building the fire onagers. Now, the fire onagers are actually what we use once we press attack. So we want to try to minimize damage to them. So as soon as they're built, definitely put them in. Don't bring anything else out. We want all 4 of them. However, once we get 3 built, we're going to start pulling out the onagers. I'm sorry, the trebuchets. Because I don't let them do their fire thing. Now, we'll bring out the trebuchets. And the enemy defense equipment will concentrate on these 3. And at least I know this 4th onager, when it's built, it will not be damaged at all. Now, I do want to point out that I'm still in the beta. I haven't upgraded to 1.2.8 or 0.9. And there are actually 4 siege engines here. These 2 are invisible. This has been invisible for ever since I can remember. Okay, so we bring these 3 trebuchets out. They start working on the siege engines, and they do not fire at this 4th onager. So I know it will be in pristine condition, probably the one I will use. Let them destroy the enemy siege equipment. Okay, there's 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 1 more to go. Come on, get it, get it, get it. Okay, now that's, as of right now, they have 0 siege equipment. The defenders do not. Notice they're about 80% done with this one. There's going to be a little relay race here, so we're going to move the trebuchets to reserve and pull out the onagers. And now there's a little delay as they're pulled out of reserve. Hopefully all 4 of these will be ready before this one is completed. And it's not. That's fine. So we're just going to let them destroy it. There we go. At this point, the defenders have 0 siege weapons. Okay, so this is when you actually attack. Lead the assault. Now you don't have to worry about anything being destroyed. And it also doesn't matter I always like to choose, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to let it go. And I'll just go straight here. Notice they are not firing back because they have 0 defensive equipment. So not only can your fire onagers just do whatever they want to do, but so can your catapult, your ram and your 2 towers. They have nothing to fire back with. And that is the method I use so that the enemy does not destroy my siege equipment. Also reduces the number of casualties you take. And one thing I want to point out that a lot of people over the years have complained about is people just standing around at the towers. Typically, the siege units, the siege AI on your side, notice I haven't issued any orders, by the way, whatsoever. I'm just letting my troops do whatever they want to do, and it always works out. Typically, the AI likes to wait till the siege towers are at the wall and the ram has burst through the first gate. I'm just going to make this video a little bit longer to show that. Let's just fire and see what's going on. Just to be doing something while we're waiting on them to get into position. But the important thing to take out of this video is there is no defenders firing any type of a siege weapon at us. My siege towers are not going to be destroyed. My ram is not going to be destroyed. And since I am in the beta, what used to be the most current version but no longer is, you notice there's no enemy archers on the wall. Excuse me. I don't know if they still do that in 1.2.8 or 1.2.9. One of my siege engines just hit somebody. Now they're coming up because the towers are close enough. Lower my range by half. That's still too far. Oh, no, it wasn't. Now this is where the fire onagers come into their own. Over the years, I've just been able to judge. I usually only need 1 shot to get the range, and then I just move the range indicator as required. But these fire onagers can really notice they're waiting at the ladders until they're not rushing directly up the ladders on both sides. They're just kind of creeping up the ladders. Oh, that was a good hit right there. That was about 15 or... The ram is doing its thing at the front door. Now, your troops are going to mass at the top of the siege tower. They're going to try to hold a quote-unquote beachhead at the top of the siege tower. There, the front door, the front gate is down. And you see the troops just massing at the top there, holding a line. And what the AI is trying to do, to make a long story short, is they want to attack at all 3 points. 1, 2, 3 at the same time to break the defenders up. Okay, now we're rushing through the gate. The inner gate is broke. See how they're rushing through? And they're going to start pushing at the top of each tower. See how they're pushing the enemy back now? And a lot of people complain. They think the AI is not doing anything. But they're actually using a pretty good tactic. They want to attack the enemy on 3 different points at the same time. And that keeps the enemy from concentrating their troops at any one location. Anyway, that was just a brief video to show the method I use and what I believe to be the best way to siege. Ciao.